everybody. Today we're going to be talking about Brightburn. This is a movie starring Elizabeth Banks and David Denman, and it's basically about a boy who crashes to Earth in a meteor in a small Kansas town. The parents, played by Elizabeth Banks and David Denman, find the boy and adopt him and raise him as their own. And then eventually they find out that this boy has superpowers. So if that sounds a lot like Superman, that's because it's a pretty blatant ripoff of Superman. It's basically what would happen if they sent Zod instead of Kal-El. And when he turned 12, he just turned into a jerk. That's basically what the movie's about. James Gunn's name is on it. He's a producer, but I think that's only because it was written by what appears to be two of his brothers. Mark Gunn is one of the names, and I forget the other one. But they really were paint by the numbers and a bit lazy with this movie. It does feel kind of like a James Gunn movie, even though he didn't direct it. But there's a lot of pieces missing. For one, it's very predictable. Once you know that James Gunn is involved, you know that they're not going to follow every cliche that comes with a horror movie, and it is a horror movie. Like, once this kid develops these powers, and he's not a nice kid, so he does a lot of bad things, and they show a pretty graphic detail. They do earn their R rating, so that part is fun. But the characters themselves, they have very little actual detail given to them. It's a quick 90-minute movie. A lot of time is spent on building up to what he's doing and the kills and things like that, making him very creepy and atmospheric. The one you see in the trailer where he's going after the woman that's locked herself in like the fridge at a restaurant. So there's about 3 or 4 that are a lot like that. But they do take up a lot of time, which doesn't leave much time for actual characterization. There's no arcs, there's no description of why the family behaves the way they did, and there's not a lot of characters, so you would think there'd be time to develop them, but they don't. It's mostly, just like I said earlier, paint by the numbers. The characters are very thin, they're not thought out, there's no explanation about why the kid suddenly turned bad. Like, they show a little bit in the beginning about like home videos and stuff, and he doesn't seem like somebody who's going to just suddenly turn bad, but he does, and they never give no explanation for it. They give no explanation for where he came from, and that where his powers came from. They don't even really go into all the powers that he has. He just kind of starts using them. There's no period where he learned how to use them. There's nothing where his parents find out about it. There's nothing. It's just suddenly he's all powerful and using them all. So there's definitely pieces missing. They could have really spent another 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, fleshing out the characters, giving more explanation, more backstory, especially like with this kid's home planet, which we know absolutely nothing about by the time the movie ends. So it's definitely entertaining, and like seeing a 12-year-old kid with superpowers and what he would do if he was not a nice kid. That's an interesting story, but they don't flesh it out enough. The characters aren't developed. The story's pretty basic. You can probably predict the ending. Once you realize it's a James Gunn produced movie, you can probably predict the ending. It's entertaining. Elizabeth Banks and David Denman as the parents are good. They just don't have enough to work with. So the special effects, the action, the gruesome violence is enough that I would give it a 6 out of 10. It definitely could have been better, like with better characters and some more explanation, more backstory. Could have been a lot better, but it's entertaining enough to watch it at least once. Maybe wait for it to be on Netflix or something like that, but overall, 6 out of 10, decent movie, good violence, good scares, and a little bit entertaining. So that's it for Brightburn. produced by James Gunn, starring Elizabeth Banks and David Denman. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, or all of the above. Thank you, and have a nice day.